Join us. We're live. Why is that like that? Man, everything is glitching today. What the hell's going on? What are you laughing?
It's Thursday, Ed. What do you expect's going to happen?
No, but Sunday on Reabo, same thing. My co-host glitching like crazy. Today I come in, I can't log in. I can't. Won't Brave browsers block my camera and my microphone? Like what the hell? It's like annoying as hell.
You're being blocked completely at the Brave browser?
The camera and the microphone, and now even camera settings are weird. So I don't get it. What do you got for us today? What are we going to talk about?
Well. We have, you know what? Since this has all been all the hot topic and everything, and all the bad that's come out of all these traumas of, abused children and everything, I'm going to take it a one step further because we got to really pressure these politicians. And, yeah, we need some action. We need action now. We can't afford to wait for the likes of Doug Ford or anybody else to take any action because their action is inaction. And that's what I want to talk about. We have one of the survivors of Robert Land Academy, Ian Caskey. I'll bring up some of that more near the end of the show. And as a matter of fact, not next week, but the week after, we'll have Ian on, and I believe possibly DJ North. They've done some amazing things. They're opening up a center for a not-for-profit for um, help for the boys of Robert Land, but not only Robert Land. It's open to everybody. That needs healing, therapeutic healing with methods that actually work. So uh, I blacked out what you did to me. I haven't had that many beers. I should be blacking out already.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay, so give us a brief description. What is Robert Lang Academy?
All right.
People that don't have got no clue what's going on sometimes.
Yeah. There's been a lot of controversy. A lot of stuff has been circulating around Robert Land Academy. It's been 50 years of abuses, of almost 50 years, like 49 years, 48, something like that.
Go back even more.
Yeah, going back to 1978, it's a private style military academy that
Where?
out in Wellandport, Ontario. Um,
Close
and
Niagara Falls?
No, Wellandport, Ontario. It's in the Niagara region, and it's just outside of West Lincoln. It's in the Niagara West riding, of course. That's where I run for provincial office.
So it's
But
down by Niagara Falls area. So like St. Catharines.
no, not even there. More Smithville, man, West Lincoln. That's all I can tell you. It's like in between Fonthill, Pelham, and um, Beamsville, Grimsby area. More that way.
So somewhere between Hamilton and Niagara Falls.
Well, heck, let's just go broader. It's somewhere in Ontario, all right? From the East Coast to the West Coast, close to the center of Canada.
Okay, so what is the Robert Land Academy? What was it about? How long has it been around?
It was around up from 1978 till June 21st, 2025, when we shut that sucker down finally once and for all. It's a horrible place, horrific things that happen. And yeah, we're gonna bring a very clear, concise uh, description of everything that's going on, the changes we're trying to make to protect children in private schools, to get these bad actors that become teachers and other things in these schools. Kids are in great danger. They're put in great danger directly by the provincial government because the provincial government refuses, all out refuses. Imagine that. To put in simple things that, they stay silent. They won't meet with us. They won't speak with us. They've stayed completely silent. And, there was a tragedy in another private school where I believe it was like 13 boys all died. And as a matter of fact, that psychopath teacher from that school ended up at Robert Ladd Academy. So this is the kind of stuff we're trying to prevent. We have, we're asking for normal things. We're asking common sense things, that the teachers be registered with the College of Teachers. They get background checks, criminal background checks. Obviously, that's it. That's needed. You can't have, and you wait till you see the psychopaths that work there. This is insane, completely insane.
Okay, so it was a military style boys camp. Now the other camp where the 10 or 12 boys died, I believe it was a canoeing trip, and the kids didn't know how to swim or something.
Yeah, well, these guys would do. It's kind of similar to the fall exercise, and I believe that guy is actually the one that may have brought SWATs to the Robert Ladd Academy, which turned into a whole other animal, because they'd swat you with canoe paddles until they would break the canoe paddle, and then they'd switch to the cricket bat. As a matter of fact, one of the students that I was there with, we all just happened to be in a camera club together, and imagine that. He was beaten with a paddle, and when it broke, they took the cricket bat to him, and we took a picture of his ass way back then, how it was all black and blue with a Polaroid, and lo and behold, it's come into it's come. Who would have thought something way back in 81, 83 come back to bite them in the ass as evidence in the schools? So this is in the courts. Sorry, this is crazy stuff.
So were these all a part of residential schools?
Uh, no, they weren't residential schools, but you can kind of liken them to them because you were living in there. There was massive atrocities going on. And wait till you see all the players involved. You have to ask the simple question of why. Why did it go on for almost 50 years? Incredible. Right up to the last year, there was pedophiles in that school that finally got arrested during that time. So it's, yeah, we'll get into that. I don't want to jump ahead, so to speak.
Alrighty.
Now, the Progressive Conservative Party of Ontario has been tied to the school from the date of its founding. So they've been tied to the hip to them. They provided funding. Shania Twain's brothers went there, both of them. They were provided funding under Indian Affairs, I believe it was. Don't quote me on that 100%, but it was something like that. Um, you know, and it's the same story: run away, get returned, run away, get returned, and then finally they get out of there somehow, either by death of suicide or they finally get out of there. It's a crazy story, Ed. It's a crazy story.
Okay, I'm gonna download that Go file because it's not in this browser.
Right. And actually, I'd like to start out with that video that you're going to download there. It's pretty fucking amazing, uh, the kind of answers I get and the kind of answers we get.
Hang on a second. Let me get this ready to share.
Kim, you're absolutely correct. It was a living hell. I lived it myself, so I know it was a living hell. And, nobody's going to take that away from me or try to tell me different. I was there. I lived it. And it's crazy. It's really bad. Really, really bad.
He knows who his little kids are. He wants a picture for the grandkids.
By the way, I'll give it to Billy. Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
All good. All good.
Premier Ford, yes, sir. You know, I'm really kind of disappointed I never got a response by you and your party ministers to my email. But
okay.
is there any comments you'd like to make about Robert Land Academy, that private military school?
Honestly, I'm not that familiar with it.
You should look into it, please. I'll text you. I'll text it up to you.
I'll get it. I'll get back.
All right.
Get back
All
to
right.
everyone.
Thank you very much, sir.
So, this, you clearly, and I will make it very clear, that I can't accept that as an answer of truth by Premier Ford for the fact he's very well aware of everything. As a matter of fact, during his time from election, and I want to make a point clear here. He was past me. He turned around, spotted me, and came back to me. That's because he knows me. And, I've helped out his party before in the past. And this is actually kind of a little extra slap to the face to me. Actually, I'm pretty insulted that they will not make this change. Like, this isn't a bill. This isn't a rebuilding the legislation, the Education Act from bottom up. This is something that can be done with a ministerial order. You can have the Minister of Education, Paul Calandra, can simply make a ministerial order that say teachers have to be registered with the College of Teachers and to have criminal background checks. That's it. This is common sense, because this school was pitched later on as a school for children with developmental issues, behavioral issues, educational issues. Later on, they done a little pilot project and they used it as an alternative to jail. They would get sent, youth would get sent to this school instead. So, and just for the record, I never had any of those problems. I wasn't a bottom of the barrel student. I wasn't a student that had behavioral issues, nothing like that. I went because I thought it was freaking cool. Where else is an 11-year-old going to get to rappel and, work with the military? And, I always thought military stuff was really cool. So it was a massive interest to me. I thought this is freaking awesome. Boy, oh boy. When those parents drop you off and they drive away, it goes from awesome real fast to what the hell did I get myself into? It's a real bad place, real bad. Now, so a couple of weeks or so ago, we ended up at Queen's Park. I gave you a link to NDP MPP and education critic Chandra Pasma. At least they brought us forward and done something. And we spoke of just some of the tragedies that happened there. If you want to roll that one, we can roll that one.
I can't.
It won't roll.
I can't get into my Facebook account. You believe it?
Oh, why? What's happened? Okay, if I give you the link, can you roll it?
I don't know. It's not letting me log into Facebook for some reason. And yet we're live on Facebook. Isn't that something?
Isn't that crazy? It's crazy stuff. Here, let me see. It's a Facebook link, so I'm sure if you roll the link, you should be able to to get it up there. It should go.
Is
if
it
you-
anywhere on YouTube possibly, or in some other format?
I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure it'll work here. I'll drop the link in the private chat. You should be able to bring it up. There you go. She's in.
Nope, it wants me to log into my account. It's not letting me do that.
Really?
You really?
Okay, cripes. How else can we do it? You know what? I'll do this.
Can you open it up on your computer?
I got it on my computer. It comes up no problem. But if you want, let me see. I got so many things open here, though. That's the problem. Let's see. How do I do this stupid thing? How do I do the share screen?
Okay,
thing?
open another separate page on your in the browser. A new page in the browser.
A new page, like a tab.
Yeah,
All right.
and then open your Facebook or that link in that tab.
All right.
You got it.
Yeah, I'm just okay.
You got the page open.
Yep, it's open.
Okay, right below you're gonna see a plus. Looks like a little TV screen.
Yep.
And then share screen.
All right. Plus share screen.
Make sure you got the audio button clicked.
On where?
On the bottom, also share tab audio.
Okay, so share screen. Okay, share screen. Select window or screen. All right, so I've done that.
Hit share.
Hold on. No.
Yes.
Entire screen or StreamYard Studio? Which
Yep.
one? StreamYard?
Yep.
Okay, that's me and you there. Yep.
Yeah, but you want to click on the tab that's got whatever your Facebook account is on.
Hold on. This isn't working right. This is why I hate this stuff. Okay, well, whatever. I'm just going to do the StreamYard one. Do I want to go entire screen?
Yeah, but the StreamYard one is me and you.
Right. But,
So you got to hit the tab that says Facebook on it.
well, there's not one. It's just telling me my entire screen, StreamYard screen, right? And then my notepads that I have opened up. There is no other screens. That's
Use the notepad one.
No, because notepad's going to be my notepad files that I got open.
Okay, then you got window.
No, I just got the share screen for this.
What
studio.
browser are you using?
Mozilla.
I haven't used that in decades.
I know.
Try it. We'll see what happens.
All right.
You should see the proper page go on.
All right. There's that there.
That's us.
All
There
right.
you go.
Where?
You just had it.
Okay. Well, you know what?
You just had it.
Okay. How do I exit? I'm going to
Click on the Facebook one. No.
Hold on. I'll do this different. Do that. I'm going to do this. This will work. Okay. This will work. See, I'm thinking ahead of time here, all right? Supposedly. All right. So audio's up, everything's up. Sorry, peeps, for the technical difficulties. All right.
You're watching someone learn something new today.
All right. Hold on. Here we go. All right. There we go. You got it?
Yep, it's up.
All right. Okay.
Hit play.
Now, hopefully the volume is on. Here comes the play. Got volume?
Yep.
All right.
Who's playing the classical guitar in the background?
It's some guy in Queen's Park.
It's not you?
No, not this guy.
Bear with us, people. It's going to start in a few seconds.
And when I was 14 years old, and you're going to hear hard.
So there was a bit of an audio issue for a second there. Don't worry, it'll come back in a minute. See, you're not the only one with issues.
The feeling of omnipresent, persistent violence. When you're a child, there is no hope. There is no future. There is only the moment. And you want to avoid pain.
You just muted the volume.
Concrete room with 9 other boys and no door. And everything about my existence was controlled from above. Imagine running away in Niagara, freezing cold, no lights, nowhere to go. But anywhere was less scary than staying at Robert Land. And when we ran, the Niagara Regional Police Service returned us. Indeed, they have been returning runaways since before I was born. Andrew English, who's up here, attended Robert Land Academy before I was born. So we tracked 2,169 alumni. Every name in every yearbook that was made. And these faces beside me are just some of the 110 that are dead. Everyone in this room that's off camera has lost multiple friends. Everybody in this room knows the feeling of searching for a friend and not being able to find them because they're dead. In these pictures, my friends, nearly half of us to suicide and overdose. The median age we die, 35 years old. We need to understand something. What I am describing to you is not a school. It's an experiment. But in Ontario, call it a school, run a jail. There are no restrictions. There's no accountability. There are no checks. You can do basically whatever you want if you call yourself a private school. Minister Calandra, we want to meet you. We've called on you to meet us. We hope to hear back from you. We've shown how Ontario funded this institution, and we've shown how these pillars, the military, the government, the police, have failed us. But we will not give up hope on these pillars. We believe in our society, and indeed we have hope for this society. So we must impose limits on those that want to work with children, especially at-risk youth. This never should have happened. So NDP, Liberal, Progressive Conservative, please hear this. This is not a political issue. We are talking about child safety, and I know we can all agree on this. We must keep our kids safe. Thank you very much.
My name's Andrew English. I've traveled from British Columbia, I don't know, hundreds of miles, kilometers, and 42 years to this moment where I stand with brothers and now sisters to talk about not all the fine details of what I experienced at Robert Land, but to try and give you a small glimpse into what's a lot of us experienced. I attended the school from 1979 to 1981 inclusive, 3 years solid. At the age of 11, I went there when I was 10 turning 11, barely over 4 feet tall. I had been persistently beaten by the morale officer, Bill Arthur, a man who was 6'4" and 235 pounds, who took great pleasure in smashing cadets with a canoe paddle as hard as he possibly could, to the point of bringing blood through your skin. He had it in for me. It was the culture of the school to go after the young, the smallest, the most gentle and kind of us were the easy pickings. At the age of 11, I decided I couldn't go back. My father, who was also violent, so at home, stuck between two bad places, I decided to take whatever pills were available in the house in an attempt to kill myself. Ripping up my plane ticket, my father flew into a rage, taped it back together, and if it weren't for the kindness of flight attendants at Ward Air at Dorval Airport intervening, I don't know what would have happened. The following day, after being released, I was immediately flown back to the academy. I was greeted by one of the cadets, and I was court-martialed for cowardice at the age of 11. I was made to stand in a stress position for approximately 8 or 9 hours outside of the headmaster, then Scott Bowman, yelled at, given no therapy, not even asked why. From there, I went through the entire punishment code list. At that time, it was up to 15 punishments. It included me having to eat laundry detergent. I received 12 swats, which left me barely able to walk. That again was done under his instruction by Bill Arthur, the morale officer who was my tormentor. I did a number 14, so at 4 foot something, made to run around a soccer field with a 45-pound pack in under half an hour. And I could go on and on about the other punishments that I had to go through, some of which pale in comparison to what a lot of my brothers have had to go through. While meeting everybody is part of a healing experience for me, I'm also shocked to hear that boys up until recently were still exposed to this abuse. So for nearly half a century, people have been hired with criminal backgrounds, people involved in the torture and murder of other individuals have been hired by this institution and been able to do whatever they wanted. I can talk about food deprivation, I can talk about stress positions, I can talk about a million other things that we were put through. But we are standing here coming together to try and get change. I can't believe in Canada somebody who is allowed to come from a school where 13 kids were killed and 2 months or 3 months later join up and become a morale officer or any officer or teacher, no credentials, and yet the government was funding. When I went there, the government was paying for this to happen. And as Jarrett explained, the feeling trapped, like you can't escape, you can't get away, it's true. Every day for 3 years straight, it was anxiety, terror, fear, and pain. This just needs to end. Thank you for enduring my probably over my time limit speech and ramble, and I'm happy to take questions afterward. Thank you.
My name is Michael Brown.
When I was 8 years old, my older brother, Christopher Brown, this boy right here, was sent away to Robert Land Academy. He was 14. Chris was a very beautiful soul, and he was my absolute hero. He was, and he still remains the most important person in my life. I only got to see him a few times a year when he went to the academy, and that was when he came home on leave. And each time I saw him, I saw
We lost volume.
cold and snow. He ran away for the final time,
Is it back?
accompanied by another student named Matthew Toppy. They ran 50 kilometers away from the academy and eventually laid down side to side across train tracks. The train approached them and the engineer blew the horn and applied the emergency brake but couldn't stop in time. Moments before impact, Matthew stood up and tried to pull Christopher off the tracks. The boy train killed instantly. Chris was 16 years old and Matthew was 17. The day Christopher died is the day my whole family died. My father plummeted into alcoholism and took his anger out on his children. My mother descended into alcoholism and religious extremism. A few years after Chris's death, my parents decided to send me to the same place that killed my brother. Word quickly spread that Chris Brown's brother was at the academy. I had students telling me how my brother killed himself and it wasn't an accident. I had staff telling me they knew Chris and compared me to him. One such staff member grabbed me by the back of the neck, pushed me down against a chair that was dedicated to Chris and yelled at me, "If you don't change your trajectory, you're going to end up just like your brother." There was a bench with my brother's name on it. It sat in view of most of the academy. I was told that they used to walk recruits past my brother's bench and say, "If you want to take the easy route, you could be like Brown." The academy took this horrible tragedy and weaponized it to keep students under control by fear. Being forced to attend the same school that killed my brother caused a lot of psychological damages. Years later, I've been diagnosed with CPTSD and I've struggled with alcohol and drug addiction most of my life. I find a lot of peace in the fact that RLA is closed and I can't destroy any more families like me, but we're here today because the steps need to be put forward that stuff like this never happens again. Thank you very much.
Good morning. I'm John Chris, and I've been a secondary school, high school teacher for nearly 30 years. In 1992, my first teaching position was a co-op placement at Robert Land Academy. To the boys, some of whom are here today, I was known as Staff Sergeant Chris. During my time, I personally witnessed or became aware of the relentless emotional, psychological, physical, and sexual abuse that these boys faced on an everyday basis. Looking back, I feel that my primary duty was to have protected these boys, and I failed. The government of Ontario, as well as multiple other provincial organizations, has historically and intentionally failed to protect them as well. In 2018, I apologized to these boys in an online forum, but I feel in the gravity of this situation in a place where we are today, as a staff member of Robert Land, I want to apologize to all RLA survivors again. I acknowledge what you went through. It was criminal. It happened. And I hope that RLA is forced to apologize to you personally, but I fear that will never come. As a teacher, I believe that every child in the province of Ontario deserves the same level of protection, regardless of whether they are in a public or a private school setting. In addition, through their actions, these boys have closed RLA for good. It was them, not anybody else. They bravely shared their stories in order to protect future generations of children in private schools. They are also concerned that the former staff of Robert Land Academy was recently permitted to stroll 60 kilometers down the highway and immediately start working at another private residential school without being held accountable for their actions at RLA. Today, on behalf of all RLA survivors, we demand the following calls to action from our provincial government so that this can never happen again. A requirement that all staff perform a criminal records check. A requirement that all teaching staff register with the Ontario College of Teachers. A requirement of more rigorous health and safety inspections occur on an annual basis with detailed reporting that examine all aspects of student life, especially in residential schools. And finally, the establishment of an independent ombudsman's office that oversees all private schools in the province of Ontario. Thank you. Well, my name is Stefanos Karatopis. I thank you, MPP Pasma and media, for being here. I attended Robert Land Academy when I was 11 years old. I had a great friend there. He ended up hanging himself twice. I had to cut him down twice. The third time, he ended up drinking a bottle of all-purpose cleaner and a bottle of Windex. And those days, that particular day has affected me, has changed the whole course of my life. I do not know if he's alive or dead, as the last time the ambulance took him away, I never saw him again. And we were subjected to such abuses, such as having to dig our own graves 6 feet down, 4 feet wide. Some students were made to lay in it with the dirt getting thrown on them, saying they're going to be buried. Other ones had to fill them in, dig them out again and everything. So I am standing here before you all to make sure that no child should have to dig their own grave again. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Chandra Pasma, the MPP for Ottawa West Nepean and Shadow Minister for Education for the official opposition. And I want to thank you, Jarrett and Andrew and Mike, Stefanos and John, for sharing your incredibly powerful stories. I know they represent just a fraction of the many terrible stories that have come out of Robert Land Academy, and there are many others here with us today who have similar stories. As a parent, and particularly the mother of a 12-year-old boy, these stories just break my heart. You were little kids when this happened to you. You deserve so much better. We need to take action to ensure that this doesn't happen to a single other child in Ontario. We cannot allow this kind of institutional abuse to take place under the name of education. There are actions that we can take immediately to prevent it from happening. I fully support the policy proposals put forward today by these survivors of Robert Land Academy, and I'm prepared to table private members' legislation if necessary to make them happen. But the government could take action today, and I urge them to do so. Minister, please meet with these men, hear their stories, and let's work together to stop this kind of abuse from ever happening again. Thank you, and we'll take any questions. All right, thank you so much. And for everyone who's here, if you'd like to come up and take a picture together, now is the moment.
So just to let you know a few things here about this stuff that was going on. So the gentleman to the right of me in the blue suit, that's our lawyer, Matthew Lefebvre. He's with Presler Law. He's the one who's taken on all of our lawsuits against the school. The school is, all the proceedings have been stayed. They've claimed bankruptcy. They're out of business. They're gone for good. If you could tell, my voice was a little bit shaky, and that's because one of my friends who had killed themselves, their sister was in the audience, and I had her in the my peripherals, and she was crying, so it made it a little bit difficult for me to talk. But this school was so bad, and for Doug Ford to sit there and tell me he doesn't know much about the school. I've made posts. I should have supplied you with some more screenshots and other things, but since I believe it was in 2017 where Sam Oosterhoff, the MPP for Niagara West, that's where I run for provincial office, he in a by-election was elected then. No spine. He's a character with no spine. He'll never say anything without. He's just a yes man. Period. No spine. There'll be no change. No nothing. There's emails I sent to Calandra, Lumsden, Oosterhoff, and Ford that all fell on deaf ears. They won't respond. The bullshit with Ford saying that garbage to me, shame on him. Shame on all these fucking people. Very big shame on them all. They're blatant liars. They absolutely know what's going on. You can't tell me the PC Party of Ontario, who's been tied to this school since 1978, has no idea about the school. It doesn't know that much about it. You know why? We got Christine Elliott. We got the House Speaker Leclerc. We have all of these guys that all attended Robert Land Academy under the Doug Ford government, all accepted awards. They're very well aware of Robert Land Academy. And Ed, I do believe I sent you a screenshot, if you can throw that up, of Calandra, Lumsden, and a guy named Jonathan Jeffrey Alstead receiving an award for phys ed at Robert Land Academy. I don't know if you can throw that up. You're muted, Ed. Can't hear you.
There's one with Beth Millard and Murray Road.
No, not that one yet. There's another one.
All right, I'll have to go find that one.
It could be in an. I believe it's in the first email I had sent you.
Calandra JPEG? Nope.
It should be. Let me see. I'm pretty sure it's the first one.
Flamborough Farm is the first one.
Hold on, I'll tell you in a second.
Beth Millard.
Yeah, so it's the first one I sent you. It's titled Tonight's Show. You'll see there's the GoFundMe, there's a brochure, there's Beth Millard, there's Calandra, then there's it's called Conflict One, if you see that.
It's Calandra JPEG, but it's Conflict One, yeah.
It's a JPEG, but it's named Conflict One.
You're killing me here.
Sorry, it's a whole bunch of attachments. It's the one with the brochure in. And the GoFundMe. Hello, Ian. How are you? I see you in the chat there. That's the one, Ed. That's the one. So to the left is Paul Calandra. To the right is Lumsden. And the middle is a teacher from Robert Land Academy, Jonathan Jeffrey Alstead. He's been arrested and rearrested multiple times. Of course, out on bail. He's been alleged to be a pedophile. But, to try to tell me that the current provincial government of Ontario and the premier have no idea about Robert Land Academy when they got all these media opportunities with the education minister, all right, sitting to the left. You're going to tell me a line of bullshit like that and text me, buddy? No, I don't think so. I ain't going to buy that for a half a second, especially being tied to this school from 1978. So after this happened, after we'd done the media, the press release from Queen's Park, and again, people, just so you're all aware, right now under the Education Act, there's only one requirement of inspection of private schools in Ontario. And the inspection is to make sure that they are teaching the current curriculum. That's it. There's nothing about health and safety. There's no inspections about living conditions, facilities on the schools. There's nothing about teachers, proper training. There's nothing about anything. Your children are literally placed in harm's way at the failure of the provincial government to protect your children. So, what kind of a message does this send when it's not only myself who has sent emails to these people asking for change, asking to work with the survivors, asking to come up with a better, stronger legislation? And this is just for the private schools, nothing else, just for the private schools. We're not asking for changes to the public system, nothing, because naturally, these protections are already in the public school systems. But why? Ask yourself why does the provincial Ford government, the premier himself, the education minister Calandra himself, ask yourself, why would they not make this very simple, not complicated in any way, shape, or form, and not only make this simple common sense change that should be in place, but why would they not want to make a ministerial order and immediately have this happen and put in play? Why would you not want to protect children in private military schools? Or, private schools, period. Doesn't matter if it's military themed, it doesn't matter what theme it is. Why not?
I'll tell you why not.
Go for it, Ed.
There's no money in it for him. The only reason Dougie sold hash was to make money. The only reason he became premier of Ontario was make money. How much money is he going to make off of this?
Yeah, well, that's well, here I'm going to give you an example of something. As a matter of fact, this is crazy, but when I went to that school, it was $8,000 a child to go a year. The very next year, it went to 13 or 18,000 a child. Can't remember.
What year was that?
So that was I went there from 81 to 83. I went 2 years. So
Okay, hang on. How much? $13,000?
that was the second year. 8,000 a child the first, 13,000 or something like that for the next year.
In 1981,
Yeah, 81, 82, 83.
you could buy a brand new full-size Pontiac or Chevrolet sedan for $6,000. Out the door, taxes, everything. A brand new Trans Am in 81 was $9,000. Loaded. Just
So
to give you an idea how much money we're talking here.
what did I buy for 8,000 and 13,000? I don't know. I am still trying to figure out what did I buy, but a life of hell. I don't know. I guess you could call it a glimpse into what hell might look like after I die. I have no idea. But what I have to say is, when we shut that school down, June 21st, 2025, it was 64,000 a year. And Ian paid in 91, 92. Ian paid $26,000 for that year. So 64,000 though. This is what people were paying a private school of a guy named Scott Bowman, who was a fraud. He had a fake military rank. When I went, he had given himself the rank of captain. At one point, he gave himself the rank of major, and then I think he gave himself a higher rank. But that's when the military finally stepped in and said, hey, you can't do that. So he had to downgrade his rank. But this is a guy who was a total fraud. He said he worked for Secret Service. He said he worked for Mossad. He said he worked all this bullshit, the UN. He named all these supposed places that he worked for that don't exist. The guy was a fraud through and through. And this is just a fraud, a pile of garbage that is a fraud. And that I don't want to get off track here, but there's another capture that I sent you. It's called Calandra. It would have been in the same email as this screen capture. And this is after, I believe it was after the media release that we done at a Queen's Park. And I want to make something absolutely clear to everybody watching. And, this, some people say, how could you do with the NDP? I'm Libertarian Party. That's it. I don't care if it's the NDP. I don't even give a crap if it was the Communist Party of Ontario. I will work with anybody because this is not a party issue. This is something that it should be not politicized in any way, shape, or form. And it is just something that is common sense, that it should be done. This is something that needs to be done. Now, if you read that, Ed, you can see here. You can see here the absolute dribble that Calandra is doing. So the top part is just saying what Calandra is, his positions, blah blah blah, self-promotion garbage.
So second paragraph, current controversy. Paul Calandra has refused to make any comments on the case of Robert Land Academy and the abuse of young boys over half a century of operation in Wellandport, Ontario. Recently, former students and victims of abuse resulting in over 100 premature deaths spoke at Queen's Park in an attempt to change the current laws that allow convicted criminals, including pedophiles and murderers, to work as teachers and caregivers at privately run boarding schools. Mr. Calandra has refused to meet or speak with victims despite numerous attempts and public pleading.
So there you go, Ed. So there you go. Now, why would that be? Well, we see him with a pedophile from that school. We've seen Ford saying that he knows nothing about it. There's multiple people, political people, ministers, MPPs, past MPPs, speakers currently of the House in the legislature of Queen's Park. And you know what really fucking kills me? Pardon the language. That the fact that these guys try to call themselves honorable. Are you going to tell me that this is a person who is honorable? And Ian brought up, there you go, Mark Boland, the Somali affair. I think I gave you a screenshot also on that. This is where murderers get involved. If you look up the Somalia affair in Canada, look it up in Google. This was the Canadian Airborne had gone to Somalia. They got a kid, a teenager, and they tortured and murdered him. They went to jail for murder. There was the whole airborne unit was dismantled. It's the single most biggest stain on Canada's reputation internationally. This was an international incident. This is how bad it was. And the second that SOB walks out of jail, he's in the Robert Land Academy, where he continues to brutalize and sexually assault students at that school. How fucking insane is that? And you got a pile of garbage known as Doug Ford and Paul Calandra that they will not do something so important and so small. Like I said, we're not trying to rebuild the whole Education Act. We are just saying, put in the common sense thing to do, and that is criminal background checks and to be a registered teacher. They had, oh God, Ed, you want to do another search aside of the Somalia affair? This was a silent co-founder of the school who was in there immediately. Look up the name Serge Leclerc. Sorry, it wasn't Serge Leclerc. It was Cleese. Give me a second. Let me get the name here. Oh God, what was the name?
Please, Leclerc.
No, Serge Leclerc. He was another one they hired there. He wasn't the one who he wasn't the one who was the co-founder. Cleese was the co-founder. He was a priest. And he is a friend of, and a close friend of King Charles now. Prince Charles back in the day. He's dead now, but the point is, he was a priest. He was in there. There was a school that had put a monument up for him, honoring him. And, oh God, I wish I knew the name. Oh my God, I wish.
This isn't. You're not talking about the guy that hung around Prince Charles that went to jail for pedophilia, was it?
That's one of them, and not only that, but there's an article that's come out that's called Prince Andrew's Other Pedophile Friend. There's also another news about that. So yeah, it's ridiculous on how much you find out now that you dig into all of this stuff.
You're not talking Jimmy Savile, are you?
No, Cleese. Oh God, we'll figure it out. But this is the crazy stuff that's happened with all of this stuff. This is such a corrupt government. I don't know what else to call it. Why you first and foremost, you're the provincial government, okay? First and foremost, you're the provincial government. What in the hell would be such a resistance to oh my God, why would you resist putting these simple common sense protections in place? What is the problem here? What is the issue here? Why would you not do it? Okay, let me see. I got it up here. Keith William Gleed, not Cleese, Gleed. Sorry, Keith William Gleed.
Put the link in the private chat.
Again, you're gonna have a problem with it because it's
on his Facebook again.
It's let me see. There's no link. It's my own stuff out of my Facebook because I've posted this stuff there. And there's an article that says Prince Andrew's other pedophile friend, prep school priest who came to his 1986 wedding with Sarah Ferguson. This is another one. There's like so many things. This ties into so much. I can't even begin to freaking, I can't even begin to say things. There's a publication ban on that teacher even, so I can't say what he'd done. But I'll tell you, when you go to those bail hearings, their first appearances, that's where you get to hear all the sick, twisted trash that these psychopaths, these sick, demented bastards done to kids, young kids. It's so disgusting. It's so disgusting. You know, and it got so bad that, you know, the Crown wouldn't even go into any more of this stuff because it was that bad. They wanted to spare the body of the court those details. It's that bad. So, like, there's so many people. The John Brandt Award, you know, General Walter. He's another one. He received that in 2019. This is directly under Doug Ford's watch. You got Dave Levesque, the Speaker of the House. He got the John Brandt Award in 2018 from Robert Land Academy. You got Christine Elliott, who got the John Brandt Award in 2023 from Robert Land Academy. You have, you know, you got her again showing up at their gala. You got Rob Nicholson, John Brandt Award in 2020. This is all under the damn Doug Ford government. You got Tim Hudak thanking the SNAPD Oakville publication for sharing the photos from Robert Land Academy Gala on April 21st in 2018. Tim Hudak's the former PC party leader. So you got all of this stuff there. There's heavy involvement, including funding by the provincial government from the Doug Ford government. And oh my God, McGovern Ian. So there was, I believe he was supposed to be the psychologist or some garbage that he was hired there as the teacher. This McGovern, I believe he's dead now, but there was a huge report on him and everything. And he was a narcissistic psychologist, which is the worst of the worst. Yeah, Ed, that would be at Glebe, correct? So there's like a lot of stuff. They had a monument. They took it down at some school. These are the people that were at the school. Mark Boland, another one at the school. Crazy. So I'm going to bring us to present day. We've made, there's a lot of people who have made some, well, actually, Ed, there's also another screen capture that I sent you. I named it Boland. It's another JPEG. If you want to bring that up, we can show that. And this is with Ian Longfield. He's another survivor of the school. I know Ian rather well. But this is Boland, right out of the Somalia affair, straight out of jail, right into here. And it was crazy. Like, how can you? And of course, Boland won't make any. He denied requests for a comment. Of course they will. They're all facing criminal charge. They know it. Anything they say is going to hang them. And you know, this is fucking Robert Land Academy, okay? This is the type of trash that's going on. Like, can you believe this? Can you believe this? You know what? I don't even know what the fuck to call it. Corruption, travesty. I don't know what you can call it. Yeah, that's the picture. So this is when he got out of jail and went right straight to Robert Land Academy. a sexual predator, a violent abuser. And remember, this is right out of Somalia. This is right after they killed a teenager. Um, in Somalia. You know, like, what the hell? What in the hell? And currently, right now in Thorold, the fire captain in Thorold, what the hell's his name? He's another one. He's another one. He broke students' legs. They charged him, but the judge, of course, because you got a lot of political power. You got a lot of not only political power, but you got a lot of power. And the judge says this was a lower level of assault. How the fuck can you have a lower level of assault when it's breaking a child's legs? And the news article from 2000 in December 20 says unfortunate assault at low end of scale. How is that a low end of scale that you have a child that has his legs broken? Ambulance wasn't called or anything. I believe it was for some 6 days later. They finally got an ambulance for him. Don't quote me on that 100%, but they never got him an ambulance right away. It left him there with broken legs. How is that? And that was from Justice Al Lacavera, who made that ruling. And, 27-year-old non-classroom instructor from the Robert Land Academy in West Lincoln was granted an absolute discharge. Do you believe that was an absolute fucking discharge? And this psychopath is the fire captain. Giovanni's the last name. I can't remember his first name. That he is the fire captain in Thorold in Niagara. My God. And this was because the student didn't want to get out of bed. All right. So because the student didn't want to get out of bed, that warrants a broken fucking legs. Like, this is the type of garbage that's going on. Like, I don't know, Ed. Is that justified to you? Here, I just want to tie it up because I see we've gone over the time here, but I want to just tie this up quickly. We've got the Niagara Regional Police, who was in a conflict of interest with us because in my time at school, Robert Land Academy has also been tied with the Niagara Regional Police Service. We used to run security for them at their events. They would lend us their band for our events. Lots of garbage. I told them they're in a conflict. I brought this up immediately. So,
are you talking about Craig, Captain Craig Bowman?
No.
No.
No. That's something else. I'm talking about Giovanni is the last name. He's the fire captain in Thorold. But the other thing is we've proceeded with criminal complaints now. These bastards need to be brought to justice. That's all there is to it. They've committed crimes over the years. So we told, I even called the RCMP and told them that they have to take over the investigations because the OPP can't do anything because they're in a conflict just simply because the Ford government is in power. And when I called the RCMP about it, the RCMP just fucking hung up the phone on me, and that was that for that. So what does the NRP do? And this is Grimsby 8th Division, okay, where our complaints have gone in. I've reached out to the detective, asked them to contact me immediately. And of course, as always, it always falls on deaf ears. Nobody will contact you. And this to me reeks of corruption as being a cover-up. And now, why I say this is because they are definitely in a conflict of interest. And if you want to bring up the slide with Millard, was it the one you were talking about earlier? Bring that up, and I'll freaking bring it up, and I'll make the connection for you, and you tell me if I'm wrong in any way, shape, or form, or should I be, I don't know. And just for another note, there's another guy named Craig Rudery who he's also been arrested. He was also a former teacher. He's been arrested in the Yukon and currently in front of the courts, and he was rearrested again on previous pedophile charges, and he's Canadian military yet again. So if you look at the center top, you will see that's Beth Millard. And if you read that, Ed, I don't know if you can zoom in much on it or not, but if you read about Beth Millard, this is the fucking insanity of it all. So Beth Millard has been a police officer with the York Regional Police in Ontario, and currently is in Canada for 19 years and currently a uniformed staff sergeant. So this is a staff sergeant with York Regional Police. So here's where we go. Suddenly you have the Grimsby 8th Division detachment in Grimsby, who took my criminal complaint amongst many others. They stepped away from it because they cited possible conflict of interest. Can you tell me who they passed it off to take the investigations on? I'll give you one wild guess.
York Region?
You fucking got it. You got it. So they went from the fucking frying pan right into the fucking fire. And this is the Board of Governors that was sitting for Robert Land Academy. You have the Canadian military there. You got Tim Hodak, former PC party leader. You got all these fucking conflict of interest everywhere. And there you go. Beth Millard, current, working, on duty, staff sergeant. And now they're going to take over all the criminal complaints of Robert Land Academy while she sits on the fucking Board of Governors for Robert Land Academy? That's right. How does that make sense, Ian? That's beyond me. And I fired off an email immediately to Melissa Spano of 8th Division, Grimsby, Niagara Regional Police Service, asking her who the hell's, basically, if not in those words, but asking her who's making these decisions, put them in contact with me. I've already put it forward that it should be another force, period. It cannot be sent to York Regional. Are you fucking kidding me?
My dad told me back in 1985 Canada would be a communist country in my lifetime. I laughed at him. I said, there's no way. Canada is such a free and democratic society. Now, the fact that this is happening all over the place, this is part of what communism is. It's all about protecting the elite political class. They use all the tools available to them to do these cover-ups, to do these investigations, to quash them. You got police investigating police. Guys, we're there. When are people going to get off the couch is what I want to know.
I want to know how the fuck this is, this is a blatant fucking conflict of interest. Are you fucking kidding me?
Okay, just to give you an idea what conflict of interest means to people these days, I was on a flight back in 2016 or 2017 to Croatia. Third-year political science student was sitting beside me. I says, do you guys ever learn about political conflict of interest? He says, yeah, I think we discussed it one afternoon. I said, what? So can you explain to me what it is? No, not really. Political science university. Okay. They
So
don't get it.
I'm gonna do one quick ask here, and that is everybody freaking, oh my god, demand, get a hold of the Niagara Regional Police, get a hold of the chief, get whoever the whole hell is in charge. Bring this stuff to them. Complain. How can this possibly go to York Regional Police when you got York Regional sitting on the Robert Land Academy Board of Governors? You know, it should be. Look, what happened with Doug Ford? He was investigated. It went to the RCMP. That's not a problem. No, but here, we're gonna, and it doesn't matter, guys. This is where the big conflict of interest is, and this is what people don't know. It doesn't matter if it's Peel Region. It doesn't matter if it's Niagara Region. It doesn't matter if it's York. What you all do not understand is all these regional police services are all the same service. It's just the municipalities go and hire them from this service. And that service provides the officers. They just call them York, Peel, whatever. It's the same fucking police force, period. And that's another conflict right there. They cannot have any regional force investigate this, and it cannot be the OPP because of the PC Party of Ontario's involvement in this cover-up and scandal, and it has to go to the RCMP. That's the only way we're going to get fair criminal investigation out of all of this, and that's the bottom line. There's no other way around it, period. So these guys are the most corrupt force around. The most corrupt government I've ever come across, and they refuse. Of course, they refuse to work with us because we're going to step on feet. Now, I just want to pop up quickly, Ed, before we close out here. If you can bring up, there's Ian Caskey who's in the chat. He's come up with a nonprofit, and this is for people to heal. It's a Robert Land Academy Memorial and Survivors Healing Fund. There's a GoFundMe to help this come to fruition. There's a brochure that we have. Ed, I had sent you a new one. There was a spelling mistake in the other one, so I don't really care about the spelling mistake, but it was corrected. I don't know which one you got, but if you can throw that up. Ian has taken upon himself to open a not-for-profit healing and therapy that will help survivors of that school. It will also help other people who have been traumatized. It's a therapeutic healing that they can get. So we're working. Ian's working to fix problem and help people out. There's there's a farm to table restaurant that they'll have in there also. We're going to teach people how to, as a therapy. There's horseback riding. There's farming, so the place will be growing its own food, and what they're going to be selling it in the restaurant that'll be on site. There's boarding there also if required for people. It's a great way to help treat people who have had traumatic experience or trauma incurred in their life, addiction, other things. My hat's off to Ian. He's done an amazing job, and he's jumped through a lot of hoops. We'll have no, it's not just for boys, Curly. It's for everybody. It doesn't matter if you're a boy, girl, whatever you are. This is a very honorable, commendable thing that Ian is doing, and things are in process right now to secure the property and get everything off the ground. And it requires some funding, obviously. It's a not-for-profit, so This is purely out of Ian's goodness, out of his heart and his own trauma that he has suffered himself. There's going to be, like I said, horseback riding. There's all sorts of stuff in there, and Ian can put some stuff. But we will have Ian not next week. We're going to have Bam Bam Andrews next week, and we'll see. Maybe we'll get Rob Primo on with him, and then the week after we'll have Ian to come on with DJ North, possibly along with him. And there's the GoFundMe page, Ed. I don't know if you want to throw that up there so people can check out the GoFundMe if they want to make a donation to help this. Ian's put up. There's going to be putting up a significant amount of money. It's just getting to the very end that's going to be required to help out. Yeah, that would be it, Ed. You can throw that up. There should be a link there. If you don't have it, I can throw it up in the private chat.
Hang on. I'll get you a better page on this.
All right.
Got it?
Let me see here.
Robert Land Academy Memorial Survivors
Yes.
Healing Fund.
And it's a memorial also that will have the dead of Robert Land Academy that all this is premised off of. There will be a memorial there with the names of all the dead that we've currently found up to date so far. Yeah, so Ian says there. Here, I'll throw it up. There you go. So it's going to be quite a very good thing that's going to be coming up there to help everybody out. This is something that's very dear to everybody's hearts. We all went through everything that we have, and we have made connections. Unfortunately, it's through trauma. Would have been better if it was other ways, but if you can donate, please do. This is for a good cause. It's not anything dumb. This is to help people heal and get on with their lives. So again, thank you, Ian, for what you're doing. It's very commendable. Now that's honorable. What our politicians are doing is very dishonorable. I can't say anything else. I don't know what else to say about that. But there's your corruption, everyone. I've tied everything in. I've tied everything in as much as you can. And who protects pedophiles? Like, who would protect the pedophile?
Government.
Yeah, but only a pedophile will protect the pedophile. There's absolutely no reason that the government should not put in the fact that a criminal background check and to be a registered teacher. That's it. Those two simple things. All right? That's it. It speaks volumes when they don't want to do it. Volumes.
Canada's a safe haven for pedos?
It is. It's like the worst place in the world right now for pedophilia and human trafficking of children and women and men. I always see there's never protections. Nobody gives a shit about men. But men and boys are the most abused in this kind of stuff, but it's never spoken of. It's because they push the agenda on women and kids and girls. And you'll see the majority of the time, pay attention out there. There's women. I'm not saying, I'm not trying to cause a division. I'm not trying to say anything. I'm just pointing out the fact that government and media and everything else will focus on nothing to do with boys, because that's what you're going to see. The majority are boys. And this is ridiculous that these guys in our government, our provincial government, does not want to put protections in private schools. And a lot, I believe there's around 8 teachers from Robert Land Academy who are now gone in about 4 months from Robert Land Academy. They went to international school in Fort Erie and are working there now currently. So that shows you the danger right there. And where's the dangers all over the place? You got Mark Bolan. You got Arthur's. Arthur's is the one with the 13 dead kids in the canoe thing there. That psycho, he came to Robert Land Academy and he was a psychopath. Not was, is a psychopath. You know, this is exactly why I wanted to come on the show tonight and show everybody this stuff. I'm not just blowing smoke out my ass, as I always say. When I come up and I say things, I always do it with evidence to back it. You cannot, the evidence is there. The inaction of the provincial government is there. The inaction of Sam Moosterhoff and MPP Calandra, the inaction is there. It should be a no-brainer. They refuse to meet with us. They refuse to make those common sense changes. Why? It's almost like they want, or it would give you the notion that they want to protect pedophiles and perpetuate this and keep it going. Why? Why do they want to put your children in fucking harm's way to these sick fucking psychopaths? Unless they're sick fucking psychopaths themselves.
Hey, I live in Paul Calandra's riding. I've asked a couple times to get an appointment with him over a year ago. Still waiting for a response back. Spoke to his secretary. Sent emails off. Did everything was appropriate. Haven't heard a peep.
Well, everybody needs to fucking mass email these pathetic excuses for human beings, because obviously there's no humanity in them whatsoever. They need to do the right fucking thing and make these things happen. And not only email them, call them, demand this stuff, protest outside their offices, protest outside their fucking homes, go to their homes and protest. This is what needs to be done, because they are failing to protect your kids, because they do not care about your kids. I'll bet you $1 million that if it was one of their kids, they'd be fucking doing all sorts of shit. Look at Ford with the carjackings and all this shit, leave your key fob at the door bullshit. When his car was attempted to be broken into, he's on TV crying like a little bitch. Oh, they tried to take my car. Where? Yeah, but before that, it didn't fucking matter to you, did it, fat boy? This is bullshit.
Didn't matter until people started playing hockey in front of his house, too.
That's another one. And then he's got to get all the police force out there and the taxpayers' dollar, because, he's scared, because hockey's a real scary fucking thing,
All right, guys. If you found any value in this, I know there's some people that don't do Facebook. If you find any value in this, why can't one come up? There it is. Silver's Real Money is my personal YouTube page. We're streaming on there too. It's, of course, I'm heavily shadow banned. Capital SILVER is Real Money. You can share to that. You can email those links to that. We don't make any money off this. We just do this out of the goodness of our hearts and hopefully to protect Lady Justice. And if you know who she is, I'll bring a statue of her to next week's show. Remind me, Stefanos.
Yes, the scales of justice, Ed. The scales of justice.
Find any value in this, share it out. See you guys next Thursday. Same bad time, same bad place.
See you later.